So I've gone ahead with the grinder and I've cut away the inner seal. See the extent of the rot in there. So a little scan around. Expose the inner chassis member. So what I'm going to do next, I've got my piece of cardboard there. I'm going to make a cardboard template, and like I did on the other side, that's going to be butt welded through there on that edge. I've kept this original old sill to give me my line. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring a piece of metal down from up here, say maybe. This won't be seen, so it'll be under the carpet anyway. Make a piece all the way along there. I'm going to sit it on top, on the inside at the top, and get it the right length so it sits on the just inside the seal at the bottom. So then that'll be the inner seal plate done. Then that will give me the option then to come back outside the front. Give me the option to come back outside the front. So where the metal will come out here, the inner seal, I'm just going to leave a big chunk hanging out for now here, I think, a big square piece. Then I'm going to offer my A-frame support up here. And I offer the A-frame support. I've taken the door off as well to take some stress off the door pillar, seeing as I've cut the A-pillar support off as well. It's quite bad on this side. I don't remember it being this bad on the other side, to be honest, but this only literally just comes around the front edge, this A-panel support. I'm hoping there's enough good metal on the existing to weld onto. Should be okay. So that's going to go in there. Also, I have a complete overseal. It's not just a cover panel, it's a proper solid outside rocker cover. Also, I bought myself a new overseal. It's not an overseal, it's the proper rocker cover for the outside. And looking at the extent of this one, it's quite bad condition all the way along. And there's some little patches in it as well somewhere down. I saw a little patch somewhere. So the repair patch put in there. That's the rear quarter. You can get this panel's a separate panel there. There's a join line there. What I'd really like to do is actually remove. I'd like to change that whole panel rather than chopping and changing it all. But ultimately I need to repair the inner seal first, get it all nice and strong, because I don't want to be cutting it inside and out and have no strength left in the car. I don't want it all moving. So I think what I'm going to do, first things first, get my cardboard template out, cut a piece of thick steel, get that welded in, and then I can go on to putting the inner support panel in, and then I can go on to trying to do something with this seal. See, this seal, although it stops there, it actually continues underneath. It's stepped under and it carries on quite a length of the car actually. It's quite a long panel, that. If I bring it down we can see how long it is. The panel, that's a proper, I wouldn't bother. You can actually just get over panels, you can just hide the rust, but what's the point in that? You're not actually achieving anything. If you're going to go to this much trouble, you might as well do the proper job, I think. So that is a proper replacement rocker that goes on the outside. As you can see, it's going to pretty much go there, and it pretty much, you can see, like it looks like a support girder there. It pretty much stretches down the whole length of the car, this does. So that would be great if actually I can replace that. That'd be really good. I'd be happy with that. I'm hoping on this side, I haven't checked yet whether the axle support post is rotted out. It was pretty bad on the other side. I think it's okay on this side actually. That will save me quite a good job there then. So to get this in, you're going to have to, this bit's, you can buy this lower quarter here that sits on top. So I might just get just to fit the sill at this stage, I might just cut that all off there, that arch, just so I can expose everything, and also see the inner seal as well then. So I made a cardboard template for the seal that I cut out, the inner seal section. I've gone ahead and cut it, and I've just put a couple of screws to hold it in place. So let's have a look what stage it's at. So get the angle there. You can see the plate there. I've got it in position. I've left it square cut at the end there. I'm going to cut that to shape. So what my plan is, I've just overlap weld it at the top. I'm going to seam seal it down there so it's running on the right edge, and I'm just going to lap weld it along the top. I'm going to seam weld it all the way along. Then I'll take the screws out and I'll plug weld the screws as well. Plug weld the screws, only put a few in to hold it in tight. Now what I want to do is I'm planning to replace the seal. As I'm planning to replace the seal, I want to cut out that part of the seal there. I'm planning to cut it out, and then I'm going to double seam weld the inside of that inner seal plate. I'm going to get the welder set up. I'm going to get the welder set up then and go ahead. I'm going to seam weld all that round through. I've already ground the metal back. Then once I've cut this out and seam weld it, this is giving me the chance to paint all that on the inside. I'll probably paint it with Pour 15. Then I can seal all this up. I can get ready to move on to cutting my A-panel support then. Get that welded in. And slowly move down through the car. So I'm going to go ahead now and get the welder set up and come back once I've got the welding sorted out. So it's welded in place now. I've fully seam sealed welded my plate, my inner seal plate. Let's have a look what I've done so far. There's my welds. It's all going to get covered over with seam sealer anyway, so it should be alright. It's going to be behind carpet as well. Gone up to the end, up to the corner. So that's all fully seam sealed on the inside. Let's see what's going on the outside. So that's it on the outside. I just bent that in a little bit, that corner, so that's alright actually. I've kept the straight angle on the bottom, which you need. That's really rigid now. That I've used 1.5mm sheet steel on that inner seal plate, so that's really good. So I'm happy with that. I've just polished it up with the wire wheel. Just got all the. I'm going to move on to the. I want to move on to the A panel support now. So I want to go ahead and cut all this out. It's quite tight. Oh, it's literally on that edge where you need to cut it. It's quite rusty there. I'm hoping that's quite solid there underneath there. It's just surface rust. It's really literally on the edge of that, so I need to cut straight down. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut across there. So that's the panel in question. Looks like it sits over the top of that. So that sits in place. That sits in place, and then the rocker cover sits on top of that, up to that edge there. What I want to do, I'm going to prepare that, get it all ready, get it all cut. And then what I'm going to do is go ahead and paint it all on the inside, I think, at this stage, because you won't get to it again afterwards. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that out now. We'll come back when I've chopped that out and we've got this approximating position.